To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. No, I probably had COVID like 74 times. I have no clue, and I don't care.
Everybody liked Blanche. Because Blanche was a pig who took it in the ass.
Did you smell your poop? Did you learn anything? Did you read about the dog story?
Why the f*** is my ex-girlfriend, who I despise, calling me?
A lot to blame on the news. It's a lot to blame on Anthony Fauci, that Italian leprechaun.
Almost like it never existed, but it fucking did. So do me a favor, go yourself.
Here, positivesarcasm.com. We're here with Despair Part 2. Find me on Instagram, Facebook, Minds, Gab AI, Sessions, Wisdom, Positive Sarcasm. I haven't even used it. I'm just on there. But if you want to find me, I'm on there. Hit me up through my website, positivesarcasm.com. Go to the contact section. You can easily find me through there. If you want to support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. If you want to just email me directly, go to positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Why am I wearing this hat? You guys know I'm a former Yankees fan. I know this red hat. I look like that Covington school kid, Nick Sandman. Shout out to Nick Sandman, who's worth like $1 billion right now. Wearing this LA Dodgers hat because R.I.P. Vin Scully. If you don't know who Vin Scully is, strongly urge you to go on YouTube and look up Vin Scully. Now I'll just give you his brief normal thingy. He was a sportscaster for the LA Dodgers, calling many Major League Baseball games, beginning in 1950 when the franchise was located in Brooklyn, because it used to be the Brooklyn Dodgers, which would actually be a pretty cool hat to have. That's when Jackie Robinson, one of the first black ball players to make his debut in the major leagues, he was on the Dodgers, Brooklyn Dodgers. Scully's tenure with the Dodgers was the longest of any broadcaster with a single team in professional sports history. Who's second only Tommy Lasorda. Let's see. In his final season behind the microphones, Scully announced most Dodgers home games and selected road games on Sportsnet LA. He was known for his distinctive voice. Ball one to Abreu. High fly ball gone. He didn't really go low. He didn't go high. He was just kind of like right there in the middle. It's time for Dodger baseball, everybody, and have a very pleasant good evening wherever you may be. He was considered to be one of the greatest baseball broadcast, kind of what he sounded like, one of the greatest broadcasters of all time, according to fan rankings, Bleacher Report, blah, blah, blah. Nationally televised football, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he was awesome. It was cool. And you know what? He was a very pleasant interview. Just a very pleasant guy overall, and really did enjoy his time. I just seemed like, this is what I do. I love doing it. Not going to change my tone. Didn't really comment too much on other things. He just played the game. Or not played the game. He just talked about the game. Only cared about the game. And that was it. Till 90. Lived 94 years. Seen many playoffs. World Series. He's been there for all of it. It's pretty awesome. So, you got to give kudos to somebody who found their passion in life and really just wrote it to their grave. So shout out to him. A true American success story. So yeah, get that out of the way. I have a spending habit problem, as you guys know, but I think it's okay. I think nowadays it's justified to buy more alcohol. I bought a bottle. Did you know that, pretty much every celebrity nowadays makes booze? I didn't know that Dale Earnhardt Jr., I think his wife as well, or girlfriend, or whatever the freak her name was, they make a vodka called High Rock or something like that. It's 88 proof, which is 44% alcohol, which is pretty good. But nowadays it's all right, you go to the liquor store, the stuff that used to be top shelf is towards the middle-ish shelf, lower shelf, and stuff that used to be middle shelf is on the very, very bottom. There is so much good quality booze and good quality wine and just good quality spirits overall out there. And right now, the big, hullabaloo as far as, if you're going to spend money on booze, the one place I would probably steer clear of is well, is actually just bourbon. Like when you go and spend money on bourbon, if you want to get like a middle shelf, and I don't mean like Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. That's just fight music. Okay. I'll have a bottle of Marilyn Manson, please. It's really just fight music. It basically, that stuff is where Jose Cuervo used to be, like Jose Cuervo Internacional, which is actually a very good tequila. Where do you find it? Very bottom shelf. And it's actually a good tequila, not the regular tequila, which is a special. No, it is not a special. It is a garbage. So the bourbons are like $30, $40, whereas like American whiskey, $10. But to be perfectly honest with you, like Seagram 7 or like VO or VO Gold. You know what's funny? I don't know. I don't understand this. Can somebody explain this to me? Seagram 7 is an American whiskey, but Seagram's VO is Canadian whiskey, and Seagram's VO is also Canadian whiskey. So I don't get it. Is there something I'm missing? I thought all Seagram's was Canadian. So apparently Seagram 7 is American and Seagram's VO is Canadian. I'm gonna have to look this. Let me look this up actually. Let's see. Is Seagram's American or Canadian? Let's see. I gotta know. Let's see. Come on. Seagram's. All right, let's see here. The Seagram Company, which traded as Seagram's, was a Canadian multinational conglomerate for originally a distillery of Canadian whiskey based in Waterloo. It was once the largest owner of the alcohol beverage. Towards the end of its independent existence, it was also controlled. Seagram's later imploded with its beverage assets, wholesaled off to various industry titans. Coca-Cola. Wow. Was sold to media entrepreneur. Seagram's. The balance of Universal Entertainment Empire and what was Seagram's was sold to a French conglomerate, Vivendi, in 2000. So, okay. Legacy. The Seagram name survives today in various well-known drinks. Seagram 7 Crown used to make the American cocktail 7 and 7, which is a good drink, produced by Diageo, while Seagram's VO is produced by Sazerac. Several brands of coolers were produced under the Seagram name as of 2022. Seagram's Escapes, Genovese Brewing for the Okay, so Genesee Brew. So it's like Seagram's is all blown up. So let me see. So let me look this up. So 7 and okay. So Diageo. How the fuck do you say that? Diageo is a multinational beverage alcohol company with its headquarters in London, England. It operates its largest distiller being overtaken by Kwaichow Moutai of China is a major distributor. Its leading brands include Johnny Walker, Guinness, Smirnoff, Bailey's, Captain Morgan, and Tanqueray. Diageo's it's on the London Stock Exchange, which means you can buy shares in it. It also owned Pillsbury until the year 2000. In the year 2000, it was sold to General Mills. They also sold Burger King. Holy shit. They signed a joint venture with tequila brand Jose Cuervo to buy Don Julio. What? This fucking place this thing is insane. They also agreed to sell Bushmills Irish whiskey to Jose Cuervo in exchange for $408 million and full ownership. This is in 2014, which is one of my favorite tequilas. Diageo? How do you say it? Oh, that doesn't help me. IA in bad? Diageo. Whatever. They agreed in 2014. They agreed to sell Bushmills Irish whiskey to Jose Cuervo in exchange for $408 million and full ownership of Don Julio tequila. So this brand, which owns Seagram's 7, which is the bottom shelf American whiskey, also owns Don Julio tequila. What else did they? Charlotte Vineyard. Okay, vineyards. In March 2016, they sold Grand Marnier to the Italian beverage company Campari, which is gross. They announced plans to open a Guinness brewery. Okay. In 2017, the Casamigos tequila brand launched in 2000. Okay, so they also own Casamigos tequila. They in November 18th, they agreed to sell Seagram's VO. Okay. Seagram's 83, Myers rum, good rum, Papa vodka, Booth's gin, Goldschlager, Yukon Jack, and Sambuca, and 11 other brands to Sazerac Company for $550 million. All right. That's enough of that silliness. So, what's their brands? Okay, American whiskey, Bulleit, Seagram 7 Crown, and George Dickel. All right, so now who does Sazerac own? Is Sazerac the other company? Privately held American alcoholic beverage company, which, okay, and Gold Ring, blah, blah, blah. They operate 9 distilleries, had 2,000 employees, operate in 112 countries. Okay. Annual revenue of about $1 billion. Made from selling about 300 mostly discount brands. All right, let's look at the history here. Okay. Acquisitions. All right, let's go to 2009. Let's see what kind of booze they own. Tequila. Yep. In 1992, Sazerac acquired George Stagg Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky, at which the company's primary focus became the production of bourbon whiskey, a product that primarily distilled, aged, and bottled in Kentucky, later changing its name to Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace in 1989. Okay. They acquired, in 1989, they acquired several brands from Seagram. Let's see, Crown Russ, Dr. McGillicuddy's, which includes the Fireball whiskey, and Eagle Rare. And then what else? Barton's, Old Taylor's. Okay. Let's see. In 2011, they entered into an agreement with Corby Distilleries to purchase 17 Corby-owned brands, including McGuinness Canadian Whiskey, Red Tassel Vodka, De Kuipers. What else? Ryan's, Firewater Schnapps, Barbarossa, Box Blend. Okay, Mount Royal Canadian Whiskey, Sazerac. They acquired several more brands from the White Rock Distillery, including Baja Tequila, which is good, Tanner Vodka, Epic Vodka, Superior Vodka, Stroyska Vodka, El Charro Tequila, Blackmaker Root Beer Liquor, and Chocolate Valley Wines. In 2012, they got Garangala. They bought a distillery in 2013, including blah, blah, blah. The name of the distillery was later changed to Boston Brands. The Mr. Boston line of brands is distilled there. So they own that. They own Mr. Boston, basically. They acquired Michael Collins, which is an Irish whiskey. They added Van Gogh Imports. 2016, Southern Comfort. Holy shit. Let's see. Free Vodka. In 2018, they would acquire 19 brands from Diageo, including Seagram's VO, Canadian whiskey, and Goldschlager Cinnamon Schnapps. Let's see. Early time. So, Seagram's... So, let's see. Seagram's VO. Is that American or Canadian? VO. Can't tell. Oh. Brand Seagram's Canadian 83, Canadian whiskey. Not sure. I mean, I have a bottle of it here. It's supposedly Canadian whiskey, but maybe it's not even... I'm pretty sure it's made in Canada still. I'm still have a boycott going with Canadian products. But if it's a American product now and it's owned by an American company, And it's funny. It's like Seagram's 7 is like $9.99. Seagram's VO is like, I think, the same price. And Seagram's VO Gold is like $16. It's like the cheapest shit. And it's actually really good. So there's that. So I own, let's see. So all of like the high-end brands, like middle shelf, like because there's so many independent makers out there. There's so many independent distilleries that are out there right now making all kinds of crazy shit and very good products. So it's just flooding. It's amazing. It's a capitalistic haven of just distillery upon distillery, everybody making their own shit, and it's just flooding the shelves of these liquor stores. And we get the best fucking liquor stores in the state of New Hampshire. I mean, they are the best. They are churches. So they are just flooded with all kinds. Like the wine selections are absolutely insane. So the amount of shit that Pinot Grigio, Chardonnays, every region, every country, everybody gets their own section. There's a whole section for sangrias. We got the little liquor stores. We got the ones right off the highways, which are gigantic. The one is sometimes if you really want to get a full selection, you got to go to the state liquor stores that are off the highway, because sometimes it's really hard to find things like Vouvray, which is like a French dessert wine, which pairs very well with fruit. And it's hard. Like I can find it in a Northampton one, but I can't find it in like the Somersworth one or like the Portsmouth one or whatever. So it's kind of it's harder to find, but not a lot of companies make a Vouvray, which is specifically a French wine. I usually keep a bottle of it around because it's it's a very good pair. Even though I just bought another bottle of Moscato, which it's like, whatever. I don't have a bottle of Moscato, so I'll just throw it in there. I'm literally buying alcohol for the apocalypse. So when like the shit hits the fan and everybody raids the liquor stores and the grocery stores and the Home Depot and raids everything, there's nothing left. And I am legend. I have all the booze. That's it. Like Bill Gates will control all the farmlands. I will have all the alcohol. So, and I will apparently have all the pork loin, because my other buying problem, besides V-necks, is every weekend, I will go to specific food stores, and I look for, what do you call it? Like really discounted meat products. And generally pork is high on the list, or ground beef or whatever. And every week there is something there. It's a fucking steal. Like imagine getting a full pork loin for $1.95, or getting getting like 3 or 4 pounds of ground beef back in the day, which was like $3.50. It's like, just throw it in the freezer. And I've got 3 different freezers. I still have a fucking turkey that I bought from like 10 months ago in my sister's freezer. I'm probably just going to donate it to Thanksgiving and be like, yeah, there's this turkey there. Just use that one. I mean, we're literally like, it's August. We're August, September, October, November. So we're basically 4 months away. I could just be like, oh, there's a turkey in the freezer. Use that one. Okay. We can marinate it for like 4 months and then throw it in the oven. Oh, that'd be so good. I don't play so good. Sausage, pork, chicken sausage, ground beef, whatever it is. If it's cheap, I grab it. So I'm just loading up because I don't know how energy prices are going to go up. I don't know. So I'm better off just doing all of it now while the prices are cheap. And since I have the space, I might as well buy the shit. And I do that, like I said, I've said before on this podcast, I do it literally every weekend. And if it's not there, then I don't have to buy it because I got tons of shit. So it's all. And hey, you know what? My dog loves it because he gets fucking plenty of treats. He is passed the fuck out because he was at the beach today. He was in the park. He was at the doggy park. He was hanging out in the shade. He was just everywhere. Several walks. Drove everywhere. But then again, when I went inside, I left the car running with the AC blasting, so he was super comfy. And right now, he's just laying in a gigantic love sack right now. He is completely... Is he breathing? Oh, yeah, he's alive. Completely dead, though. Just out. Completely out. And it's fucking adorable. Like, I'm just looking over the top of my laptop, and I just see him. He is the fucking most adorable thing right now. I wish I had another little camera I could just hit open and just show you what he looks like. But, yeah, he's amazing. So, Yeah, we went everywhere today. But yeah, I bought even more meat. I bought more pork loin, threw them in the freezer. Well, some are in the fridge, so I'm gonna definitely make some of those later. As far as like pork loin, how you prepare it, there's a couple ways you can do it. If you have a grill, you can throw it on the grill. If you want to if you want to pan sear it really quickly, you just one side for 1 minute, one side for another minute on high heat, and then just throw it in the oven. That way all the juices will stay inside of it. Or you can just slow cook it at like 275. Pork loin will never do you wrong. It's super, super easy. And what's cool is this place in Portsmouth that I go to has a lot of, generally they're like marinated in like all kinds of crazy stuff. So, and it's always delicious. And like I said, pork loin is very lean. It's very, very lean. Now, when it comes to meats, is it your ultimate go-to as far as like what you should take for? No. Believe me, red meat and like fish are generally, if you want to really be lean and have a little more power during your workouts or whatever, that would be my go-to. But right now it's just like while the getting's good and whatever it is, take advantage of it. So there is that. That being said, as far as like other things I wanted to talk about, I got a few things that I want to talk about today. As far as apps that invade your privacy, U.S. foreign aid policy, Instagram review, Q&A, and then we just went over booze, which is weird. Let's see. Oh yeah, the WHO, state of New York, and the CDC has declared monkeypox a public health emergency. It's like, well, whatever. I don't fuck dudes, so I don't give a shit. Moving on, besides that, and even if you do fuck dudes, it's not going to kill you. So don't even worry about it. Talked about Vin Scully. I did want to address. So there was a thing. It was like a brief, because the news cycle right now is out of fucking control. So you can't keep up with it. So recently, there was an announcement that an additional $40 billion would go to the Ukraine. It's like, okay, $40 billion. Could have used that here. I mean, like, okay, so is $40 billion a lot of money if you were to divide it among Americans? I mean, okay, maybe not. So let's see. Let's do, let's see, can I do this? 4, 0, 0, so it's 400, 4,000, 40,000, 400,000, 4 million, 40 million, 400 million, 4 billion, 40 billion, divided by, let's just say 350 million. 350, let's see, 350,000. That's 35,000. 350,000. 3.5. 35. 350 equals. So if you divide it among Americans, it really does get piddled down. It's $114 in one fell swoop. So if you just said cancel that, we're not giving you a $40 billion, which is give it to the American people, every single citizen would get $114. Okay. Or if you give it to the 99%, I don't know. But like I said, every citizen would get $114. Okay. No big deal. However, if you were to combine the additional $70 billion that the IRS just got in funding, so if you have that, that's another 200. So now we're at $300. We're at an average of about $300 to every American. If you canceled the $40 billion that went to the Ukraine and another $79 billion that went to the IRS for funding, you're now at like $300 $300 an American. So that's a waste of money. Let's see. However, we give out a lot of foreign aid. A lot of foreign aid. So the question is, and I grabbed 2 articles to get an idea. Where does our money go? Because the last time I checked, especially lately, it's not going back into the consumer's pocket. It's not going back into a U.S. citizen's pocket. It seems to be going to all kinds of other crazy places. So let's go ahead and take a look at this list, a couple lists that I found here, and see if we can get some outrage going. So this one is from howmuch.net, and then I got another one here from spendmenot.com. And then we'll see if this is accurate. And these may not even be the latest and greatest. These may be from 2016. It may be an average, but just to give you an idea over the last couple of years where all this money went. And then all of everything, why did we give them this money? Well, let's just take a look here. So there's a lot of countries on this list. We compiled data from the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, for 2016, the last year which numbers were available. USAID keeps track of how much money. This is okay, so we're going to base this off 2016. Apparently, these numbers are no longer available. What activities were spent it on and why? We changed the proportions of the world map to represent the countries receiving the most money. The larger, the period, the more money receives. We also color-coded each one according to the blah, blah, blah. First off, you can see a large red countries in the Middle East, where U.S. spends billions of dollars a year to reduce conflict, maintain peace, and promote stability. I'm sure that's the case. This is because foreign aid tends to follow U.S. troop deployments. In fact, the number 1 and number 2 recipients of aid, Iraq and Afghanistan, remain major theaters of combat, not anymore, for hundreds of soldiers. Israel, the third highest recipient. Capital of Israel is $3.1 billion. Okay. Yeah, because we're notoriously supporters of Israel. I'm not going to argue with that one right now. Like, you can go, there's a lot of people I listen to that are on both sides of the fence when it comes to like Ben Shapiro, and then there's Jimmy Dore. So they're like, it's like, okay, I'm not going there. I'm talking specifically about the amount of money that we send overseas. The second obvious trend, medium-sized countries, American expenditures, African countries like Kenya and Ethiopia. Kenya, which is a very big developing nation. Taken as a whole, these countries acquired and account for $7.2 billion in expenses. The third most expensive category is for emergency situations like earthquakes and floods, totaling $6 billion. The total budget, so at first glance, when you read the U.S. is sending billions of dollars to other countries, it seems like a ton of wasted money. The total budget for USAID in 2016 that we've accounted for here represents $36.1 billion. Is that a lot of money for an economy with a GDP of $19.5 trillion? What if you consider that President Trump's budget for the Defense Department alone costs $639 billion? If these expenditures prevent future conflicts and keep people from starving, perhaps it's money well spent. Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. This was before he took office. So let's just go ahead and take a look at these numbers. And I'm not doing that road. I'm looking at these numbers. This is before 2016. Okay, that these funds, which are probably still going to them. Iraq. What's that? $5,281,179,000. Afghanistan, $5 billion. Israel, 3.1. Egypt, 1.2. Jordan, 1.2. Kenya, 1.1. Ethiopia, 1.1. Syria, 916 million. Pakistan, 770 million. Uganda, 741 million. All these fucking places got money from us. Why? Let's keep going. So let's see. The United States sends billions of dollars overseas for a variety of different reasons. Are these like a bunch of countries? Pakistan got $777 million. We literally killed like the world's most wanted terrorist that we armed in their own country. This makes no fucking sense. You know what's funny is a lot of the clothes I buy now that I don't buy from China, I haven't gotten one made in Pakistan. It's all like Bangladesh and freaking Malaysia. But I haven't gotten anything from Pakistan. So if they're not making my V-necks, why are we sending them money? So that's one thing. So there's, how much is this right here? Let's see. So this here, the total budget for USAID in 2016 we accounted for represents $36.1 billion. So $36.1 billion. We just sent, this is back in 2016, before inflation went through the fucking roof. So now, over the last few years, is this for mapping the last year in which the numbers were available? My question is this each year? Made us wonder how much and where the money is going. So create a new visual. Is it? And the question is this something we're doing each year? That's a lot of fucking money. 36 billion. 30 what? $36.1 billion. First glance, the total budget for U.S. aid in 2016. So just in 2016, or the 2015 number, excuse me, was $36 billion. $36 billion, let's just round up probably from due to inflation. $40 billion a year. $40 billion that doesn't go to the American, doesn't go to American citizens, goes somewhere else. To countries that maybe we invaded for no fucking reason whatsoever. Or for whatever reason. So there's that. And then as far as spendmenot.com, U.S. foreign aid is huge. Do you know if the U.S. current... Okay. The foreign aid system was established in 1961. We prepared an infographic. Let's see if there's any different... Okay, so Haiti... So we got other countries here. So Haiti gets 368... What? This can't be right. No, that's right. So Haiti gets $368,968,000. Mexico gets $330.5 million. Guatemala gets $178 million. Honduras gets $112 million. El Salvador, $110 million. Dominican Republic, $66 million. Nicaragua, $42 million. Jamaica, $30 million. Panama, $23 million. Canada, what the fuck is Canada getting money for us from? $23 million. South America, $570 million goes to Colombia. Peru, $163. Ecuador, $48. Brazil, $37. Venezuela, which is falling apart, $31. Paraguay, $21. Bolivia, $21. Guyana, $9. Argentina, $7. Chile, $4. They make good wine in Chile. Okay, here's fucking Europe. Ukraine. These numbers were before the shit show. Ukraine got $423.5 million. Russia got $274.7. Georgia. What the fuck are we giving money to Georgia for? They got $163.7. Turkey got $120. Bosnia got $58. Kosovo got $58. Moldova got $43. Armenia got $43. Azerbaijan got $39. Serbia got $35. Oceanic countries, they got a bunch of... There's a bunch of... Micronesia, $120. Marshall Islands, $83. Palau, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, New Zealand got $350,000. Asian countries, holy shit. Afghanistan, $7.4 billion. What the fuck? I don't get it. African countries, Egypt got 1.2. Okay. So the process is held by the United States Agency for USA, an independent agency, which we discussed. It's not the only agency that disperses foreign assistance to other countries. The Department of the State, U.S. military, Peace Corps, countless other government agencies involved in the process. It includes direct funding, delivery of goods, technical assistance, educational programming, and healthcare for foreign governments. It also covers the maintenance of foreign militaries and security forces and local businesses and humanitarian groups, international organizations such as the United Nations and other non-governmental organizations. Since the program has started, the U.S. contributed billions of dollars in foreign aid and humanitarian aid. The United States is currently the largest donor of food aid in the world. Did you also know that? Asia receives almost $20 billion from the U.S. annually. Israel, most consistent, $146 billion since it was founding. The U.S. spends between $40 and $50 billion on foreign aid annually. Over 30,000 jobs have been created as a result of the U.S. aid to Haiti. Just Haiti. 2012, Afghanistan received $13.5 billion. Imagine that. Here, hey country, insert country here. I'm going to give you $13 billion. Can you be a country now? Nope. Okay. 10 years later. Bye. And you get that picture of the jets taking off and people hanging off the fucking landing gears and falling off in mid-takeoff. That's what you get. $13 billion. And the next thing of a country we did, I don't know why we invaded, but it's like we were there for 20 fucking years. Europe has the largest number of countries that don't receive U.S. foreign aid. Ukraine receives over a quarter of aid slated for Europe. Gee, wonder why. Hunter Biden. Excuse me. Cough. Sip of water. What countries receive foreign aid from the United States? Europe. Europe is the continent with the largest percentage of countries that frequently don't receive foreign aid from the U.S. Europe as a whole receives 1.6 billion per year. Only Ukraine breaks a $500 million barrier. Not this year. Ukraine receives an average of $420 million in foreign aid every fucking year. Russia receives. Wow, Jesus fucking. What other information is there? So, $40 billion. And they want to increase the budget of what? They got another spending bill going through, not solving anything. The price of gas is up $1.50, $2 from where it was basically 2 years ago. Food prices are up. Energy prices have doubled. Inflation's through the roof. It's the most money we've ever spent for no fucking reason whatsoever. And what's the purpose of all that? So that Nancy Pelosi can get fucking bigger tits? It makes absolutely no sense why we spend this much money, and yet, have you ever heard the expression throwing money at the problem? It doesn't work. Takes a lot more than that. It takes like a proper education. It takes like a proper culture. And the fact that we're just throwing billions upon billions of dollars to foreign countries, we can't fix our inner cities. We can't get the national debt. The national debt, like that, forget it. That's beyond savable at this point. Inner cities, fucked. School system, fucked. Infrastructure, fucked. Healthcare, fucked. Your rights, getting rid of them each and every fucking day. Energy sector, fucked. So what are they doing? How much are we spending to be in the United Nations? How much are we giving to the WHO, who basically led us astray this entire time for the fucking pandemic? How much are we giving Davos and that fucking supervillain there, Klaus Schwab? You have owned nothing and you will be happy. So who owns it then? If I own nothing, who owns it? Nobody? Nobody owns it? It's just a fucking free-for-all? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. It sounds like when the 2008, 2009, 2007, 2008, 2009 housing market crisis and basically the stock market basically collapsed for a lot. There was some bailouts and like $900 million of like a $1.1 billion loan. I believe it's like AIG or another one of these security firms. 900 million of it went as a bonus to like the fucking CEO or the CFO or whatever. So it makes you wonder, if that's just $1 billion, what the hell is this other money doing? It's so hard to track at this point, and it makes me so nihilistic about what has happened since the beginning of when we signed the Constitution. What we meant, I mean, obviously, basically at this point, where we came from to where we are now. I mean, it is amazing that, we have electricity and we have paved roads and we have, instant noodles. But at the same time, I'm sitting here talking to you, saying shit that would make me sound insensitive or be considered a microaggression, or the fact that I have a Betsy Ross flag, a custom Betsy Ross flag, according to the FBI, that makes me an extremist. I bet you if you talk to any of the people who signed the U.S. Constitution or the Declaration of Independence, any of the founding fathers, they'd all be considered extremists as well. You have to be pretty fucking extreme. You have to be pretty goddamn crazy to be like, you know what? We're going to go over here and we're going to start our own country. And then, 200 years later, we're going to separate from you. And if you try to come over here, we're going to fight you. And then you're going to come over here and try to do it again, and we're going to fight you again. Sounds like a pretty fucking crazy idea. But those extremists pulled it off. We are the descendants of extremists. Imagine that. Well, some of you are the descendants of Jews who survived the Holocaust. Some of you are descendants of slaves. Some of you are descendants of Native Americans who were basically driven out of their lands and murdered. So, I mean, take it for what you will. But a lot of us, I'm not. I'm the descendants of Jews who escaped, Ukraine, and the Italians and the Jews who left from World War II before they were slaughtered by the Germans. But that being said, a lot of you, descendants of extremists, the Pilgrims. How fucked out is that? So, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. There's no way to segue out of it. So we're just going to segue out of it. I can just tell you this. In short, Ukraine just got $40 billion. It didn't go to you. You got a $1,200 check. The IRS just got $70 billion in funding so they can audit you more. You got a $600 check. And in total, $36 billion, probably $40 billion now. Who knows who's counting anymore? Apparently not the U.S. government. Goes overseas for whatever reason to all these countries that you don't buy shit from, or maybe you do, or maybe you don't, but you don't fucking know. Whether you vote for it or not, doesn't matter. It goes over there. And all you got out of it was $4 and $5 and $6 gas prices. And if you own a diesel car, you don't have a wallet anymore. You might as well just take your wallet and throw it in the dumpster. Because you're not going to need it because you fucking can't afford shit. Anyway, so let's move on to some weirder stuff and we'll close up the shop with some Q&A. So basically, for the last 3 or 4 years, this is a perfect definition of my life. Basically, this guy got tangled up in his parachute and was able to save it last minute. Whoa. That's pretty freaking crazy. 1 second left and he was going to be fucking pancaked. 1 second left, pancaked. I mean, that to me that just represents my whole goddamn life. Just everything grinding up until the very last minute and then able to pull something off that manages to help me land on my feet. So I thought that was nice. Let's get to some funnier shit though.
To the end here. Tough words are coming out. Dratar. No fucking idea what that thing is. He's going to give it his best shot. Oh, guess he wasn't as smart as everybody thought he was, huh? Wow. Misfire. Kid in the background knows it. And there's been a little bit of shit talking throughout this. As you can see, clapping his hands right in his face. He doesn't give a fuck. And just like that, let's listen in. And taking his sweet old time, Peter. He looks a little nervous. Probably doesn't help that his mother's holding up a machete just in case he gets this one wrong. Oh, God, he missed it. That is going to be a brutal ride home, I'll tell you that much. And we can see here his father preparing the adoption papers as we speak. Oh, life's tough, kid. Learn the fucking hard way and take a seat. Good news is he's still building a spaceship in his backyard. And it's...
Oh, it's fucking funny. Last one was sent to me by request. McDojo Life. So first of all, if you please follow Bob Menery. He used to have the Full Send podcast. I don't know what happened, but follow Bob Menery. He's got a few podcasts. He's a great interviewer, and he just does this funny ass shit on Instagram. McDojo Life essentially calls out fake ass martial arts experts, and this one sent to me is definitely no different.
Very light touch, just 1 gram of pressure. Because it's correct, not because it's light. Light is just light. Or, he's so powerful, oh, he crushes me. I use not light, I use heavy. I use heavy. Very heavy. Or very light. I use very slow.
Imagine being a fucking dork in that class who actually spent money to actually go there and watch this B-rate movie actor move this dude around from the comfort of his fucking casting couch. My buddy who sent me this literally could just go in there with a crowbar and beat the living shit out of all these nerdoramas. And this guy, look at him. He's wearing, what are those, Alfani slippers? Is that what those things are? What a fucking dude. It looks like Gallagher's couch.
Very slow. Doesn't matter how fast he wants to move. I use slow. Or I use very fast. Change. Not light, not heavy, not fast, not slow. Correct. Not incorrect.
Slow. And also weak. Dude's got no fucking Jesus Christ. There are so many fake ass martial arts out there. And just so many fake ass people altogether. So incorrect. Completely incorrect. Not a real martial art. Get your ass kicked. Anyways, if you want to support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated. You can hit me up with my social media, or you can go directly to my website, positivesarcasm.com. If you need posing music because you're a bodybuilder, just go ahead and hit up some. I got some customs on there. I haven't done many customs in a while. I should probably go ahead and try that out for a while. I used to make custom demos just like to throw up on the website, and so I could get people can get an idea of what I can blend together. And then the next thing you know, people just be like, hey, can you make a cut for me? I'm like, sure. Next thing you know, I was #1 on Google. Anyways, let's close up shop with some Q&A. We'll get the hell out of here. What do we have, 45 minutes? All right, not bad. Complained about fucking U.S. spending for about 25 minutes. And I looked up random things about alcohol. But then again, whatever. Am I wrong for saying, okay, I'm a dad to a 14-year-old girl who plays on a high-level club basketball team. Ooh, club ball. And yesterday we were pulled aside by her coach who accused her of bullying another girl on the team. At first I was shocked because that's not like my daughter to behave that way. But when I dug deeper, I learned that she was trying to motivate one of the lazier girls on the team. My daughter is fiery and competitive, but she's not a bully. I played college basketball, and I dealt with a lot of teammates who would get in my face when I wasn't performing well. And I didn't complain about being bullied. Apparently, my daughter has reduced this girl to tears on multiple occasions. I've done the same thing. But my kid just wants to win. I feel like her teammate needs to toughen up a bit, or else the real world will eat her alive. My daughter is a great kid who gets along well with others, but she's also very competitive. Nothing wrong with that. I don't want her to change because I think she will become a great CEO one day. Am I wrong for thinking my daughter isn't the problem? Well, here's the thing. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you are the most motivated, most talented person on the team, you might be on the wrong team. So I think what you should do at this point is just move her up to a more aggressive ball club. If she's indeed one of the best players on the team, move her up to a team that has a higher level of skill so she can truly compete, and then somebody can really get fire on her. If you want her to perform well and it truly is her thing, then at that point, move her up the ladder. And that way she won't – that's it. If you see somebody who has a ton of talent and is really excelling in what they do, see how much farther they can go up the ladder before they start to level out. Let's move on to the next one. Was there a life-size cardboard cutout of the Rock in my bedroom and I catch my sister-in-law snooping? At my house, okay, my 32-year-old female SIL, sister-in-law, who's 43 years old, is super nosy. Excuse me. At my house, the guest bathroom is partially shared with the master bedroom. Oh, Jesus. Basically, you can get into our bedroom through the bathroom without going through the main door. So when she comes over, she would sometimes take just a bit too long in the bathroom. During maybe the third or fourth time, I happened to be walking by the bathroom and heard 2 doors closed. I asked her if she was looking for something in the bedroom and if I could help her find it. She replied with, no, why would I go into your bedroom, and then changed the subject. The next time she was going to come over, I set something small behind the bedroom door so I could see if she had opened by the small item being pushed back. Later, I could see that it had been. So for me, confirming that she had been snooping again, I asked directly if she'd been in our bedroom. She said something like, I don't care what's in your bedroom, get over yourself. So yesterday, sister-in-law and brother-in-law came over. But before that, I ordered a full-size cutout of Dwayne Johnson, which I placed in our bedroom facing the bathroom door. About an hour into the visit, she headed in the bathroom. Very shortly after, there's a scream, a thud, and a door slam. She came out clearly angry. She had been quite startled and slammed her upper arm into the doorframe while turning away from the cutout. Brother-in-law made it worse by asking, why were you in their bedroom? But she didn't answer, and they left. She posted on Facebook that she has a big bruise in her arm, and as a result of my nasty prank, people are saying she could have been hurt worse, that she's too old to be the victim of a childish prank. I feel badly that she was hurt. It wasn't my intention, but I might be the asshole because I still think it is hilarious. It is fucking that is pretty fucking funny. Actually, The Rock, that's funny shit. I mean, you could have just installed a security camera, but that's fine. The brother-in-law basically laid down the law there, laid down the hammer. So she shouldn't have been in your room. She denied it multiple times, and then she was called out for it. So the cover-up is worse than the crime. First of all, she shouldn't be at your house anymore. It's just best. I mean, look, even family can do stupid shit, and your sister-in-law clearly has done some stupid shit. Is your sister-in-law SIL? Yeah, my sister-in-law is super nosy. Yep, and she fucked up, and she paid the price for it. Don't do it again. I've been with my girlfriend for 7 years and lived with her for 4. Okay. She wants to get married and have kids. For the past 3 years, I've promised to propose every 6 months, but when the time comes, I back out. I even went ring shopping, but couldn't pull out. Couldn't pull out. Jesus fucking. I went ring shopping, but couldn't pull the trigger. Although I want to get married and have kids one day, the discussions of such a commitment give me serious anxiety to the point where I cannot breathe. I want us to travel the world before tying the knot, but she's too attached to her job. My family says I am too young to get married, and at 27 that if I need counseling now before even proposing, things will only get worse when we have a mortgage and kids. My therapist says contemplating marriage should be super exciting and happy, but all I feel is trapped. I love her and living with her is fun, but marrying her feels like doom. She says I'm stringing her along without a timeline as she's pushing 30. But I'm honest, I cannot guarantee if and when I'll be ready. Do I propose with a 5-year engagement? I think... Are you too young to get married at 27? No, that's not true. Do you love her? Maybe. Maybe you're worried that you just won't find somebody else. But I got to tell you something, man. You feel like you're... I think if you're going to get married and have these types of regrets, then I just don't think you should get married. And if that, I mean, honestly, or you could be like, hey, let's give it 5 years. Let's give it 5 years and travel the world. But she's like, I don't want to. I'm stuck to my job. It's like, all right, I get it. You want to see the world. Or maybe you can do it now. It seems like you want to see the world now. She doesn't. She wants to work. She wants to get married now. You want to wait. It's like, you know what? Maybe you guys should take a big vacation together. This is a good thing. Take a vacation together and see a 2-week solid somewhere awesome. Propose that. Go there and see how you two interact. If she's constantly thinking about work and all that other garbage while she's truly out on like an expensive vacation, which basically forces you to have a good time, but she's still focused on other shit, and you're then okay at that point, it's not going to work. It's just, I mean, it's going to be a tragic fail, but it's going to fail nonetheless. Yeah, I would pull out. I get it. I know things are expensive right now. I know there's there's travel restrictions and blah, blah, blah. You want to see the world. I get it. A lot of people are doing it. I just know a couple that literally fucking went off to Italy for 2 weeks. So try something like that and see how you two bond over that and then go from there. Then you'll know whether or not you truly should get married or wait or whatever. But make a decision. Let's do one more. I'm wondering when a manager should get involved in personal dispute between two employees that has nothing to do with work. Well, if the personal dispute is at work, then you get involved. If the personal dispute is outside of work, you don't get involved. Rob is a relative of someone who was murdered. He changed after that. He lives alone, doesn't celebrate holidays. I'm kind of the same way. And wants to go through the motions and be left alone. He has been vocal in his personal, not work life, about there being no justice for victims. Jane is a newer employee. I don't know how she found out about Rob's family because he doesn't talk about it at work, but she thinks he needs to forgive the perpetrator and fight for prisoner rights to fix the prison system. Well, how did she find out about it if he doesn't talk about it at work? After she told him this a few times, Rob now avoids Jane as much as possible. I would too. Other employees are enabling Rob by dealing with Jane on his behalf. My conundrum is that all the work is getting done. Rob has not been hostile towards Jane, and he just avoids her, and no one has complained or brought forward concerns about any of it. As a manager, should I be dealing with Rob's situation, or should I leave this alone because it is a personal conflict? Your employees are work related. Look, you can always ask an employee, is there anything that you need to talk about, or is there anything I can help you with? Is there any problems, or you just want to go through the motions? Or is there somebody you need to talk to? Because at the end of the day, you want employees. You want good employees. You want healthy employees. You want happy employees. You want well-compensated employees. You want employees who do their job. It seems like this Rob guy does his job. It seems like he's really upset about somebody in his family who was murdered. It seems like he has a long road to recovery, and he doesn't talk about it. Well, you don't want to talk about that at work. You definitely don't. You don't want to talk about your personal problems at work. You just don't. You don't. Okay, if it's an immediate thing, it's an immediate thing. Then you have to explain to your boss, I'm leaving work because of this bullshit or whatever. But if it's something like this, it's best not to bring it up at work. Just handle it. You're going to work. I don't know how Jane found out about this, but as far as I'm concerned, Jane needs to shut her fucking mouth. Period. Jane does not want this fight. It's one she'll lose. Rob needs to seek some type of treatment as far as like talking to somebody or finding a new hobby or a passion. Because he at the end of the day, he is an employee, and you want your employees to feel fulfilled or whatever, or just feel like they are getting the treatment that they want when they work there. And that is kind of it. I mean, I get it. They're not coexisting. They just work at the same place, and he avoids her. Doing that is not always easy. Eventually, it does come to a head with one employee leaving or both employees leaving, or the vibe going, reverberating throughout the office. It can become a mess. So, yeah. Let's do one more. How can I get my sister to stop posting about my miscarriage on social media? You tell the bitch to shut the fuck up. My husband and I are gutted. We had a miscarriage 3 weeks ago. Very sad. Still was relieved, if you can call it that. We lost the pregnancy early, that it wasn't a few people knew about it, but just my mother, my sister, and my best friend. I thought we'd get even private, but my sister is telling people about my miscarriage. What the fuck? That literally is a private medical situation. What the fuck is your stupid fucking sister doing? She says that she has the right to post whatever she wants. No, she doesn't. Particularly if it's medical care I received that may be threatened in some states. No, it ain't. It's actually a breach. See, if you tell her it's one thing, if she posts on her work, that's like a fucking, that's legit. Like, that's an actual problem. I'm furious that she's broadcasting my tragedy. I want her to stop, but I don't have the strength to fight with her now. Yeah, it's a serious relationship jeopardized. Like, you're definitely jeopardizing a relationship. You can report something like that because it is an invasion of privacy. That needs to stop. What she's doing is 100% wrong. 100%. You didn't give her permission to post it. Therefore, she shouldn't post it. End of fucking story. End of fucking story. And miscarriages are technically protected. So, miscarriages, Plan B, ectopic pregnancies, I believe, are all protected right now. So, that being said, sister, shut it. We are at 57 minutes. We're going to close up shop for today. Thank you guys for listening, watching, and subscribing. If you have questions, concerns, or comments, you can email me through my website, positivesarcasm.com. Go to the contact section. You can also contact me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. And you can just put the subject podcast, or you have a question or something like that. If it goes in the junk mail, don't worry about it. I go through the junk mail section as well. Okay? And if you have any other questions or concerns or video editing advice or anything like that, I'm more than willing to help. In the meantime, let me get this stupid second monitor out of here. Man, I feel like I've been running on 70% lately. But at least I don't have monkeypox. In the meantime, you can find me. You find this on video version, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook.com/POR Sarcasm. As far as audio, Google, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where podcasts are available, Anchor, and all the other randos. Pick an app, I'm on there. Thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing, and I'll talk to you all next week. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation. R.I.P. Vin Scully.